Do you love movies? So do I. What's up, y'all? It's KB, and I love movies, inviting you to listen to The Conversation, a film podcast where passion meets perspective and opinion. From the old school to the new, I invite a guest on to discuss the movies that thrill us, challenge us, break our hearts, or even blow our minds. There's always new episodes dropping wherever you get your podcasts. So join the conversation. We don't just watch movies. We love talking about them too. The Conversation with KB Loves Movies, a part of Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, this is Chris Haskell from They Live by Film. For those that don't know us, Adam, Zach, and I, we built a podcast over the last 2 years that's a combination of film discussion from 3 very different perspectives, as well as industry interviews with the leaders in boutique Blu-ray and 4K community. We started with Deaf Crocodile, but over time we've been lucky enough to speak with Arrow Video, Severin, Mondo Macabro, Vinegar Syndrome, Radiance, Indicator, most of the OCN partner labels. It's been a blast. You can find us wherever you podcast, and also actually recently as part of Someone's Favorite Production podcast network. We hope to see you online.
We're in Way Media.
Welcome back to Midnight Viewing, where this season we're taking a look at George Romero's 1980s series, Tales from the Darkside. I'm Father Malone, and sharing the Midnight View with me are the projection booth's Mike White.
Howdy.
And the Kulturecast, Chris Stachiw.
Double howdy.
Tonight we are taking a look at 2 episodes from season 3. Those are The Milkman Cometh and My Ghostwriter, the Vampire. The Milkman Cometh is season 3, episode 13, originally aired on January the 25th, 1987, written by Donald Wallner from a story by Charles L. Grant and directed by John Stizik. This one stars Robert Forster, Seymour Cassell, Shannon Wilcox, and Chad Allen. It is effectively the cobbler and the elves, but in a suburban environment, and it's a milkman. And why is he giving them why is he giving him these things? And what are they owed? What? Tell us, Mike.
Your guess is as good as mine, because he pays the milk bill on time, I guess, maybe?
No.
Because he's going to implant a baby of himself in the wife.
Now, that would be a strange twist to make it to the last 10 seconds of the episode, don't you think?
Wouldn't it be weird if that were the case?
Okay, what we have here is it's a graphic designer, our second ad agency guy this season. It's weird how they kind of pile on a particular...
They're like architects. They're everywhere. Or writers, disgruntled writers.
Yeah, and we're going to get some of those as well. Now, he's a graphic designer, but he's also a copywriter, and he's not making any money. And then his son, who has lost his watch, but is completely obsessed with finding the watch, because what 12-year-old is, me. It was me. I was obsessed with my watch when I was 12 years old. I had a Swatch. Oh, man.
Oh, jealous. I never had a Swatch.
and we've got this is the traditional sort of Tales from the Darkside setup. This one also, I said Cobbler and the Elves, but it also reminds me of Word Processor of the Gods, with the creative type and the nagging wife. When are you gonna ask for that raise? Are you gonna make some money around here, honey?
Yeah, the conceit of this episode felt a little trite out of the gate. It's like, is this? It honestly felt like Twilight Zone, 1985. Like, that's what it felt like. The setup for this episode felt very Twilight Zone 1985, to me at least.
Yeah, if it wasn't for Robert Forster and Seymour Cassell hanging around this episode, I might be a little harsher on it. But to see those two going at it, I was all right with that, especially young Robert Forster. Oh, what a man.
What did you think about Robert Forster as like this beat down romantic lead, though? He felt so out of place. It feels like Robert Forster should only ever be playing grizzled old Robert Forster.
What did I
Yeah.
just see him in where he was like a young hunk and an action hero?
The Black Hole.
Oh, well, there's that, but it was called Walking the Edge, and he was really good in that.
Wasn't he an alligator? Or was it
I think he was.
Yeah. Alligator.
Yeah, not Gator. That's Burt Reynolds.
Right. Whole different thing.
Oh, yeah.
He was also in Me, Myself, and Irene. That's what I know him from.
Oh, God, I
Which is
forgot
such
about that.
random, yeah. He plays, I think, Jim Carrey's boss in that movie, I want to say.
This episode features the most aggressive synth score I've heard the entire
Oh,
series.
thank
Oh,
you.
my God.
Oh,
The
the
score was something.
Just take it for a walk. They're taking the synth for a walk. They put a collar on it and everything. They're just taking it for a walk.
Oh, yeah. It did not fit with this. Oof.
They have this like aggressive electronic like Jews harp. Twang, twang, what is going on? This is supposed to be a spooky suburban myth. Nope.
It feels like Stephen King's Rejects, like a Stephen King's Dregs, right? I don't know. Have you guys seen The Monkey? I'm not saying it's like that, but it's again like this feels like a Stephen King short story. What was the dollar baby that you and I were gonna do? Wasn't it about milkmen?
Yes, there is a milkman like delivering tarantulas and like other horrible things to people.
That's right.
Like,
Okay.
You put that together with Word Processor of the Gods. Here we go.
That sounded a little bit like the original Lawnmower Man concept before it became VR.
Yeah, exactly. Just like odd and horrible things going on in the recognizable neighborhoods in the early mornings.
Yeah. What was the original short story this was based on? Some of the temperature days on Hawthorne Street.
What a name.
Yeah.
A much better title. Oh, no, I like Milkman Cometh as well. I mean, that's a little...
It's not bad. Yeah.
I love the wife's outfit. Early on, she's wearing just like a pure yellow suit, like pants and shirt. And it's like, and it does nothing to help what feels like an utterly set-bound episode. Like one of, I think, the most set-bound episodes we've seen in a while.
Yeah, that's true. It is not particularly well directed or paced for that matter, because what we have is in the opening scene, this child expositionally mentions the milkman. I can't find my watch. That'll lead me to tell you guys about the milkman and what he's been doing in the neighborhood. And then we go to a commercial, come back, and it's 8 months later, the wife is pregnant, and no one has mentioned the milkman since then. This is a neighborhood where if you just ask this guy for anything, you're going to get it by hook or by crook. He'll like arrange the lottery to give you money, or like you'll win a car and some sort of promotion or something. And anyone can ask for anything. And it hasn't spiraled out of control in the past 8 months. People have been asking for like fighter jets and insane things. So
I love how that's the conclusion that you're like, no one's asked for an F-16 yet.
Well, hey, I had all those Pepsi points and they still didn't deliver mine.
That's right, bastard. What
yeah,
year
like
is this fucking set in where people are getting milk delivered to their houses?
What
Father Malone, I'm surprised you didn't mention the weird anachronism of people having milk delivered to their houses in 1989.
Well, this is 87. Can I just tell you that
no, but you know what I mean? No. The year is unimportant. Any milk being delivered post 1955, okay? Like,
well, in 1987, I was still having milk delivered to my house.
In glass bottles?
No, in cartons. Like you had a box outside our house, and you just mark off what you wanted, leave it in there. The fucking dairy guy'd show up and leave off what you wanted.
And then he would leave a fighter jet as well if you asked for it.
No, I never thought to ask him for like something deadly or some money. Yeah, it seems unnatural if you're asking people for something. But it was never on the checklist that was provided for us of the
like cream, dairy. Butter.
It wasn't like $50,000. Yeah, on the bottom, like as
nuclear winter.
While you're sleeping with the wolf logo, I kept thinking there was going to be a wolf man involved in this somehow.
What's the wolf got to do with anything?
I guess it's just that he's howling at the moon or something because he only comes by moonlight. But I kept thinking this is like a monkey's paw waiting to happen. So when they're talking about like, oh yeah, I'm getting all this stuff, I'm like, okay, well, where's the price? What's the price going to be? Is the milkman going to exact the price, or is just fate going to exact the price on this guy? And I guess maybe because Seymour Cassell at some point says, I really want a hot young thing.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, no one is actually getting a comeuppance here. Seymour Cassell, when he describes the death of his wife, he says he very specifically asked for a young girl to replace her. So his language that ended up killing her. It's not like there was a comeuppance for his what. It doesn't seem like anyone in the neighborhood is getting anything done to them untoward. It's just
getting exactly what they're asking for.
Right. And this guy's wife can't, by her own admission, can no longer get pregnant. We've been to so many doctors. I can no longer conceive. And so this alien thing, whatever the fuck it is, who is the milkman, he helps him he gets them a fucking baby the best way he can, which is impregnate him herself.
I thought it was like a mole man thing.
Is it a mole man? Who knows?
I don't know. It's like scaled. It looks like it has like scale. It's like scaly, like an armadillo. So I thought it like lived underground.
Where do you get
also,
that?
Didn't want to assume the milkman's gender either. Don't know.
Well, just milkman led me.
Milkman, yeah. Are there more than them? Milkmen's?
Well, there's probably 13 milkmen on that route.
That's right. Thank you, Mike. 13 milkmen.
Silly.
Yeah, what the fuck? Good. What's funny is, I mean, again, Father Malone, I know you mentioned like, well, they were delivering milk to my house. Like, it's like the setup in my mind while it was still happening, and like, okay, like I'll take a step back on that one. This is still a very silly setup, right? It's almost like a Blackout sketch. Like, oh, like you said, oh, just because it wasn't on the sheet, I couldn't ask the milkman for. Like, so you didn't get to ask the milkman for whatever, and just because you didn't get to ask, he never gave it to you. That's, I guess, the premise of this story. Like, what if you could just ask the milkman for anything? I guess I don't understand. Like, what's the gag?
Well, the gag is careful what you wish for, because if you wish for a replacement daughter, you might get a mole person baby instead.
Well, and why did they deserve that?
Nobody. Well, I mean, that's the only option. He doesn't just give them like $5,000. He gives them a fucking lottery ticket, or tells them to go to the dog track or the.
But that's still checks the box of what they're asking for.
They're asking for a child. They're getting a child. Nobody said it had to be a woman.
That's true. He did say like it does. It's actually Robert Forster's fault, because he says anything will do.
Yes, he did.
That's the real issue. Anything will do.
Healthy is what he said.
Yeah, as long as it's healthy.
By the way, as someone who has lost a child, the expositional fucking dialogue here of "we lost a baby girl last year," that is some fucking casual talk to share with your spouse. Let me tell you. And because it's exposition, it's like extra insulting.
Well, we'll get through it, just like we did the other thing. Like, wait, what?
And then they follow that up with Seymour Cassell's wife is like, "Oh, finally getting through all this crazy business, get through all that bullshit. They're like, get a new kid." Like, whoa, like. Yeah. Who are these people?
I'm so disappointed Seymour Cassell didn't walk in fucking honking a horn while talking about it. The fuck?
Good God, man.
It's this shows like not moral compass, but it has a weird, I don't know. Tales from the Darkside sensibility vacillates so much, and this is one of these episodes where I just don't feel like this is tonally in step and in line with everything else that I'm expecting from the show. This really feels like Twilight Zone 1980. That in this context is somewhat of an insult, frankly, because this show is so much better than Twilight Zone 85 ever was. I hold this show to a higher regard than this kind of episode.
Well, I'm glad that you said that it was 8 months later when we came back from commercial break, because I didn't assume that. I thought that it was like the next day. And I was very surprised when she was like, "Oh, I'm pregnant now." And I'm like, "What?" And then towards the end, when he's like, "And she just have the baby now?" And I'm like, "Whoa, this thing's going to be way premature. What the hell are you doing? This is going to be nuts."
Could they not have just had an establishing shot of her belly, like, and him like rubbing it? Like, I can't believe we got to the point.
She's got a belly later on, but you don't really see it. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't know why he's so obsessed with seeing the milkman. Why does that become his whole bête noire?
And also, why is he keeping it from the wife that he's doing this, that he's making all this money this way? Like, shouldn't everyone be like, he's keeping how much money they have? They could be living at a better like standard. Like, I don't understand that conceit.
A lot of it seems like it doesn't serve anybody. Like sometimes things happen in this episode that it feels like it doesn't serve the narrative. It doesn't serve anybody. It doesn't serve the characters. Like, I don't understand why at the end it's like, well, be careful what you wish for. Like, there's no be careful what you wish for with anything else. It's literally the verbiage that's being used. Like, the episode doesn't make it clear that it's actually Robert Forster's. Like, because of the language that he used. That's the only reason the Milkman did it. Like, because he just, if Robert Forster had said, I want a human baby that's healthy, I think he would have gotten a healthy human baby. That's the general sense that I get. Because again, everybody else, I mean, Seymour Cassell talked about the fact that he had like 12 cars.
Yeah. Healthy
Where
with
did those cars
baby.
come from? See, that's the thing. It's like, yes, maybe they would have gotten a healthy human baby because a couple across the street had a fucking helicopter fall on them.
Hey, right,
Like,
something.
We're not getting any of the horrible stuff that's going on to make these things happen for them.
Well, and then the whole thing where he's like, oh, thank you so much for all the ideas for my book. I'm like, you're asking the Milkman for ideas for your book? You don't even have those? Like, what kind of creatively bankrupt person are you with this?
Yeah, just take your $1,000 a week from the Milkman and don't be creative. Go do something else, Robert Forster.
And him going, I drink and I write and I drink and I write. I'm like, and he's like, I feel like Ernest Hemingway. I'm like, what the hell? No, you don't drink and write at the same time. That's a spiral into blackness. What are you doing?
Take this. I told them to take their job and take a bus. What?
Oh, yeah.
Am I confused as to why we have two back-to-back episodes that are both writer-based?
You write what you know, I guess.
At a certain point on anthology shows, we're going to get a glut of writers as protagonist episodes.
Yeah, I know. We got it in Tales from the Crypt.
And we're going to get one right here with my Ghostwriter, the Vampire. This is season 3, episode 14. Aired originally on February the 1st, 1987. This one is written by Peter O'Keefe from a short story by Scott Edelman, starring Jeff Conaway, Roy Dotrice, and Gilly Mack. Jeff Conaway, favorite of Night Mr. Walters. I'm co-host of the show, the Taxi podcast. So it's a little interesting to see him post-Taxi here, 1980s Jeff Conaway here. Effectively here we have a charlatan of a horror author who's been using other people to get his facts straight on his books, and then he engages the services of an actual vampire. What'd you think of this one, Chris?
Two things. Gilly Mack, otherwise known as Mrs. Tom Selleck.
Her name is Chili Mac?
Gilly Mack.
Oh, Gilly Mac. Okay. I was really
Gilly
hoping.
Mack would also be a great name.
I was getting hungry.
She's been married to Tom Selleck since 1987, which
Wow.
good for them.
Yeah, way to go.
Yeah, good for
Yeah,
them.
those reverse mortgages really pay off.
I will say, though, the one thing I couldn't get over with this episode is, and again, to go back to the Gilly Mack of it all, man, did Juno Temple see her and be like, this is just what I'm going to do in Ted Lasso? Because it felt like that character, Keeley from Ted Lasso, just
walked right off. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
God,
I can see that.
But like not in a good way. Like Juno Temple, that is a much more thought out role. Like Gilly Mack's character in this episode is one note. Jeff Conway's character is one note. Ray Dotrice is one note. This is, we've said this before, we'll say it again. This is a blackout sketch this is a blackout one panel blown up into a 25-minute sketch. Oh, you have a real vampire helping you out, helping you write? Okay. I don't know.
You know what? No, it's not. It's not a one panel sketch.
It's 2?
Yeah, no, it's 3 or 4. It's like any fucking short story. It has a beginning, a middle, and an end with a bunch of different things happening in it. A one-panel sketch is, hi, I'm at the blood bank. I'd like to take out some blood. I'm a vampire.
I really had hoped that this would go in a different way. I kind of like the idea of it. This whole idea of the guy who's like a Garth Marenghi type writing these awful short stories, and you just had this character stab this guy with a stake in this chapter, and why can't you come up with something creative, and why don't you do this? And it's like, okay, that's cool, I like this. And then when the vampire himself shows up, I was hoping that he would be very hesitant at first to do anything, and then really start to get into it and like just really enter into that literary world where he's just like, oh no, I would change this, or have you thought about shifting the tone, or how about we go third person with this section, or something like that, like where he's really into it, or maybe gets into the business of it and he's just like, oh, I can't believe we're climbing the charts, and just like get really excited that he actually has a book that's out there, but then the jealousy of not having his name on it starts to wear on him or something. But instead it's just It's very simple. I mean, I agree with you. It's probably 4 or 5 panels, but that's it. It's not a whole comic book.
And they've already done this one with the answering machines in the first season.
Yeah, that's true.
Very specifically with Harry Anderson and his answering machine, who's defiant about wanting credit on the next screenplay or teleplay he writes.
Right, exactly.
Well, wasn't there an episode of Twilight Zone 85 where it's like scientists and ghosts? And it's like ghosts and scientists talking to each other. This smacks of that similar thing where it's like one profession being informed by the supernatural. And like this again is just like to Mike's point, they don't go anywhere they don't go anywhere remotely creative. It feels like they just take the most obvious path, including introducing a new vampire resurrection caveat that, of course, has to come to fruition before the end of the episode. And apparently, Jeff Conaway is the biggest moron in the episode because he ignores it and just lets a woman stand over a coffin with a bleeding hand, not thinking anything of it, which again is just lazy writing. It's just, it's in my mind, this is just lazy because it feels like we've seen this before and it doesn't do anything, which is a shame because Jeff Conaway is not terrible. He's just one note.
Yeah, I usually like Jeff Conaway, especially at this period of his career, well before he loses his shit. I mean, I used to watch him on, what was that? Like Celebrity Drunk Tank or whatever that one was called.
Oh, yeah, I know the one. It was when it was the VH1 special where they put them all in a house together.
Yeah. Oh, God, man, was that rough. That was so rough to see him in that period of his life.
Well, there is one moment from that series where they're in canoes together and he has passed out in one of the canoes and they row him ashore and they go, Jeff, you got to wake up. You're asleep. And he goes, no, man, I'm just hanging out. And I think about, oh, man, I'm just hanging out all the time.
Jeff Conaway was always just hanging out, man.
Yeah. Look, this is a comedy episode. None of the anthology, particularly horror anthology series, can handle comedy virtually at all. I don't know why they even fucking bother. At one point, Jeff Conaway says, I hired you as an advisor, not a gag writer. Ditto Tales from the Dark Side.
Also, what is she an advisor on? How, like, I'm waiting to see how she was an advisor. I never even got the sense of what she brings to the equation.
Because Jeff
it seems like the blind leading the blind.
He is so clueless about the lore of vampires and otherworldly things because he's not a supernatural author at all, but that's where he's making his money somehow. And she's able to provide the most basic fucking information every fucking kid who's ever eaten a box of fucking Count Chocula could tell him about the supernatural. So I don't know how he's affording her. I don't know how he needs her. Like, doesn't he own like the Time Life book series of fucking supernatural shit?
I know. Well, that's what I was saying. It'd be like doing an episode about zombies and being like, what's the one thing we know about zombies? That they're the undead. All right, that's it. Like, wait, what? Like, wait, there's more to it. I'm just the advisor, though. Like, you have to pay me for more. Like, what do you know about ghosts? Well, they wear white sheets. Like, okay. Anything else? No, that's it. All you need to know. Like, the conceit of this episode is bizarre in and of itself. And then you have a vampire, which, I mean, again, like, that's the most interesting part. It just doesn't go anywhere.
Well, first of all, it's for some reason it's just traditional Dracula garb vampire. I don't know in the 20th century.
Jeffrey
Oh my God, Jeffrey Dracul. And also, Jeff Conaway needs an advisor, and yet he's been at it long enough and successful enough at it long enough that he has a safe room. The trigger to open it is a severed head with a fucking axe in it. You pull the axe handle down and it opens the room. He needs an advisor after having that in his house? Come on, man.
I don't get it.
Keeps all of his stocks and stuff in there, is what she says.
Yeah, you have to move all your stocks and bonds.
5 timed safes?
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. This guy's. It's such an elaborate thing for this kind of hack writer to have in this place.
It's so bizarre. It's like out of Die Hard, like literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like 5 times, and they got the guy with the fucking drill and everything. I don't understand. It's just again like these weird, whacked out conceits. And then you'll notice, by the way, it's based on a story by Scott Edelman that was published in DC Comics. And like that makes sense because again, like this is pulpy in setup. Like what happened if a writer and a vampire got? And then we have again, I think also it's an eminently unlikable main character episode too, because Jeff Conaway is meant to just be such a fucking dickhead, and he is. I mean, plays it perfectly. But you're not meant to like him at all. You're meant to want him to get his by the end of the episode, 100%.
At one point, the Dracula character says, "Will your maid be missed?" And he says, "No, they'll think immigration picked her up."
Oh
Yeah.
boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can
Fuck.
go, Jeff.
Yeah.
If your idea of comedy is a coffin lined with old silverware, then this is the episode for you.
Oh boy. Yeah, I guess because it's silver, right? I mean, what's he gonna do? Like start some running water so that the vampire can't cross over it?
He's not going to invite the vampire to the book signing.
Oh, there you go. Yeah.
That would have been
Also, can I point something out here? And then again, this is just me pointing out a relative obvious plot hole and all. If you were a vampire, you could live forever. The fuck do you care about any of this?
True. Yeah.
Just like invest $10 and then just go sleep in a coffin and wait 100 years. You know what I mean? Like it's
that kind of negates any vampire tale. Like,
well, I agree.
I'm
But
only
this one
50
more specifically because he's motivated by money and fame. And it's like,
Right.
why would he care? Especially the fame part. Oh, all of a sudden the vampire's going to have real vampire hunters chasing after him because he has outed himself as a real vampire.
Well, if you live long enough, you want to experience every aspect of life, and why not some fame?
I mean, again, make that statement in the episode. If you're gonna go down that route, I agree with you, but say it. Give Ray Dotrice something to do other than just vamp it up.
Well, you know what? He really gives it his all when he's dying. I'll give the episode that he goes on and on. Oh, the pain.
Full Evil Dead makeup too. They give him like a claymation red vein face and everything.
Yeah, that was nice. I did enjoy that. And I did like, what'd you say his name was? Ray Dotrice. I did kind of like him. He reminded me though, and I know I've seen him a lot while we were watching it. My wife's like, "Oh, is that Father from Beauty and the Beast?" I'm like, maybe. I don't know.
Actually, yes.
But yeah, he was. But it kind of reminded me of the old guy that sells the magic ticket in The Last Action Hero. It's just like a thinner version of that dude.
Wait, who was that dude? Wasn't that what's his name from Christine?
Yeah, the guy who yeah, you can do some work around the shop.
Put the toilet rolls back in little spindles.
That's right, that guy.
Robert
Yeah,
Prosky.
yes, Prosky. Yeah.
Yeah, he was Robert Prosky and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Oh yeah. So I think Robert Prosky and Ray Dotrice should have played long estranged brothers.
I agree.
Dotrice and Prosky, attorneys at law.
Now that would be a great use of AI.
The film you've all been waiting for, said one person.
Oh, it's even better than watching Will Smith eat spaghetti through AI generation.
Oh boy. Anything else? All right. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say to that point that you mentioned, I am waiting for us to see a comedy episode in any of these anthology shows that is remotely funny outside of those genuine interstitials that we saw what felt like a lifetime ago. Every single time we've had a full-length comedy episode, they have been a slog, and this is yet again another example of that. So I would love to see if they can do it, but I don't think that that's realistically a thing that we will ever see on a anthology TV show, especially a horror one.
Well, I think if we jumped over to Amazing Stories, they actually had some pretty funny ones.
Okay.
Oh yeah, Hell
But
to
that's
Pay.
not horror though, right? That's more of just
No,
like
it's-
anthology broadly, right?
Right. It's more Twilight Zone, which could do any of the genres within the genre of sort of speculative. Yeah, but there are several episodes of Amazing Stories that are Family Dog, the Tim Burton
Family Dog.
and
Yeah.
animated episode, the Go to the Head of the Class, the Zemeckis one with Christopher Lloyd I thought was really, really funny.
Yeah. I think the only time we've really seen comedy that works in these things is the one Eye of Newton or whatever that one was with Ron Glass. Sorry, calling him Harris.
Oh, yeah.
Ron Glass and Sherman Helmsley. Like that one was funny and good at the same time.
And Dead Man's
Absolutely.
Hand.
Yeah.
But yeah, right, with Dan Hedaya. Yeah, if they're very quick and get in and make the point and get out, then they work.
Yeah.
All right. On the next episode of Midnight Viewing, we'll be taking a look at the next two episodes of season 3. Those are My Own Place and Red Leader. Midnight Viewing is a proud member of a Weirding Away Media Group. Our theme song was composed by HP with an assist by Donald Rubenstein. Until next time, what are you working on? Where can people find it, Mike White?
You can find it over at weirdingwaymedia.com. Yeah, that's where you can find it.
And what about you, Chris Stachiw?
Same spot. weirdingwaymedia.com for everything I work on. Other than that, patreon.com/Kulturecast or /projection booth for Rankin on Bond, which is a show that Mike and I do with our friend Richard Haddam. And Father Malone, you've been on it once, soon to be
Once so far,
twice. Yeah, soon to be
Mhm.
twice.
Indeed.
Very soon.
I love that, James Bond. As for me, head on over to patreon.com/Father Malone. You're going to get episodes early, commercial free. You'll get bonus content too, like Cable Box Theater that I do with Noise Junkies HP. If money is tight, though, you can do us a solid by giving us a 5-star review or subscribe, like, share, tell someone else to listen. Thanks. Thank you all for joining us here at Midnight Viewing. Until next time, try to enjoy that fucking daylight.
Hello, my name is Kevin Tudor, and I'm one of the 3 hosts of Almost Major, a film podcast dissecting many major indie studios and the films they release. Every week, myself, Charlie Nash, and Bryden Doyle discuss overlooked, forgotten, or bona fide classic indie films via studio-specific miniseries. We've previously covered numerous films from Artisan Entertainment, Lionsgate Films, and New Line Cinema. Titles including The Blair Witch Project, American Psycho, Dogville, But I'm a Cheerleader, Saw, Requiem for a Dream, and Ringmaster, you know, the Jerry Springer film. Anyways, we have a fun time every week and we hope you will join us. Subscribe to Almost Major wherever you get your podcasts. Now proudly a part of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.
Hello, this is Aaron West. I am the author of the A24 New Wave. In this book, I look at A24's output and I make the argument that we are in a new wave movement right now. A24 plays a major role. This book has a supplemental podcast where each episode is a brief conversation about an A24 related topic, whether an actor, director, or even a genre. As I continue research for the book and conduct interviews, I expect to record podcast episodes with people involved with the company. You can find the podcast at cinejourneys.com or wherever you find podcasts, and we are proud to be members of the Someone's Favorite Productions podcast network.